Yosef, the preferred son of Yaakov, can also be seen as a lonely individual, as a tragic individual. He was exceptional, very intelligent, very good looking, but yet he was by himself. His brothers probably didn't like him because the mother of Yosef, Rachel, was the preferred wife of Yaakov, and their own mother. There were 6 of them who were the sons of Leah, the sister of Rachel, that wasn't loved by Yaakov. They probably didn't like Yosef. So Yosef felt rejection from his brothers, and he used to hang around with the children of the concubines of the father, because he had concubines also. Each one of his wives came with a servant, and those became his wives as well. And the 12 tribes of Israel are actually the sum of all the sons of Yaakov, including those of the concubines. But as we will see, maybe even the concubine sons didn't like him as well. Yosef had dreams of superiority. He is going to be the richest. Everybody of his brothers is going to bow to his riches. The sun and the moon, including his father, eventually is going to bow to him. So nobody really likes somebody who thinks so much of himself. And obviously, Joseph felt that he had a unique role to play. And maybe the father didn't like that as well. But on the other hand, his father had also dreamt. Not only Joseph. When his father ran away from the ire, from the anger of his brother Esav, the Torah says that he lay down to sleep and he dreamt. What did he dream of? He saw in his dream a ladder that united earth and heaven. Angels of God would go up and down that ladder. And he heard the voice of God from heaven that said to him, the earth upon which your head is resting right now, this is going to be your land, according to our rabbis. All of Israel concentrated at that point under his head. This is going to be your land. Your children are going to inherit it. This is what Jacob dreamt, and he felt good about it. He felt protected by God. What did Joseph dream about? He dreamt that his bundle of wheat was in the middle, and that the bundles of wheat of his brothers all bowed to his bundle. He dreamt that he was in the center, and 11 stars, the sun and the moon, bowed to him. Where was God in his dream? God wasn't there at all. It was all about Joseph. It was all about his economic power. It was all about his personality power. It was all about his superiority. Well, I told you before that because the children of his aunt Leah didn't like him so much, he came closer to the concubine sons. But I think that even they didn't feel the empathy, didn't feel the closeness of Joseph. Because in the episode, when the brothers are about to sell Joseph as a slave, these sons didn't say anything. Why didn't they protest? Why didn't they defend Joseph, who after all was their friend? Maybe they felt an opportunity to be close to the sons of Leah, who were 6, the majority, and it empowered them. But on the other hand, they didn't feel responsibility toward the friendship that Joseph had demonstrated to them. So Joseph was really alone. Joseph is sold later on as a slave, and he ends up in jail. In jail, he immediately gets a position of command. Do you think that the other prisoners liked Joseph? Probably not, because he was above them. When he was in the house of Potiphar, before he's sent to jail, the wife of Potiphar wants to have an intimate relation with him. Why? Because he must have sent some messages, I presume. The other one didn't just dream about it. She must have felt maybe his eyes, the way he looked at her or something. Joseph was always thinking about himself. And when he comes out of jail, because he interprets correctly the dreams of Pharaoh, he's placed as second in command. He rules over Egypt. But do the Egyptians really like him? The Torah says that when it came to eat bread, they never ate together with him. Joseph was on one side, the other people were on the other side. So Joseph, in a sense, is a tragic figure because his brothers don't like him. The Egyptians deep down don't like him either. You know, Joseph wants to fulfill the promise he made to his father. His father said, please bury me when I die. I want to be buried in the land of my ancestors in the same place. But he can't do it himself. He has to ask for permission from Pharaoh. So Pharaoh says, of course you can go. And he sends with him a militia to accompany him, to defend him, but maybe also to make sure that he returns to Egypt. He is placed in Goshen, in a separate place from the rest of the Egyptians. He may be very powerful, but on the other hand, really, he is a tragic figure. When Joseph dies, it says in the Torah, Vayakom melech hadash. A new king arose in Egypt, Asher lo yada et Yosef. Did not know about Joseph, or did not want to know about Joseph. Some of our rabbis say it was really a new king. Others say, no, it was the same king. But once Joseph died, he changed his mind about the Jews. Who took the place of Joseph as second in command? Was it Menashe? Was it Ephraim? One of his sons? The Torah doesn't say so. It seems that Joseph does not leave any heirs really in Egypt. After he dies, his place simply doesn't exist anymore because he thought too much of himself. His father liked him best, and he was considered as if he were the firstborn. So therefore, his two sons became the heads, each one of a tribe. And as he got a double portion. There were 13 tribes now, but Levi did not get any part of the land of Israel, so it was really divided only among 12. But very interesting, the name of Joseph doesn't appear anymore among the 12 tribes. Joseph had a very important life, but after his life, he does not leave that much of a vestige. Maybe this is why our rabbis never wanted to consider him as the fourth patriarch. We have Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Yosef is not the fourth patriarch, maybe because he was so centered in himself and he really mentioned God, but we never hear that God should speak directly to Joseph. At least in the Bible, there is no such record of that.